a buck
$1.70.
$1.70 down the road for me, but then they'll drop it down to what's it called? I think I'm streaming, but it doesn't say that I'm streaming. So like in the nighttime, they'll drop it down to 165 or 163 or something like that. And then in the daytime, they will. Okay, we're live now. Hey everybody, welcome to Kitchen Table Talks. We're hanging out. But $1.70 in Guelph right now in the morning, and then $1.60 in the evening. And if you go to Costco or like the discount places, the Pioneers sometimes are discount, $1.59. You'll see 159, but then the next day it's like 175. So yesterday was like 167, and I filled up at 159, and I was like, all right, that's pretty terrible, but still terrible. And then this morning it was 170. I'm expecting it to be 175 tomorrow. We'll see.
It's 159 now, but 166 at the full service.
You have full service still? Holy
we're 177. We have one that's full service.
177, yeah.
The next town does too.
We're 177, and it doesn't move. There is no daytime, nighttime. There is no Costco that sells gas. The Native Reserves will not give gas to people that aren't from the band. So yeah, no free gas, no cheap gas, no nothing down here.
So everybody's, and like we were just talking about this in the green room, and then we started, and so it's kind of messy. We're talking about it, but like, the Strait of Hormuz is not really used by Canada except to ship goods and things like that, which we have outsourced all our manufacturing to the East, China, and China uses the Strait of Hormuz quite a lot, and they're low on gas. And so our manufacturing is threatened by this because our manufacturing takes place in China, and our goods travel through the Strait of Hormuz probably a high percentage of them. And there isn't a better way to do it. Going around takes too long, I guess. And so they're just going to be blocked up until this is not blocked up. And this is all part. So people were talking about how there's going to be gas rationing. And somebody messaged me in the Canada Poly chat talking about how this is as planned and rolling out at pace, just like COVID. The energy lockdowns, they're not going to call them energy lockdowns, but it's going to be like, oh, well, we have to conserve fuel. So the only people that are allowed to participate, or you can just go on transit, right? You're not allowed to buy gas because you're a bad person and you want gas and climate change to be worse. So we're not going to let that happen. But if you take transit, you can use transport. And I just feel like there's better options. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's better options for the whole thing and for movement and things like that, but not as robust options. Fundamentally, I think we should drill, baby, drill and figure out a way to provide ourselves with local gas and things like that, like local drilled in Alberta and all the rest. And then if we do that, then we're off the world oil price, and we can, I don't know, sell our goods to a whole bunch of people who might want it, including potash, which is fertilizer that's wrapped up in the Strait of Hormuz. It's kind of timely. We need to do these things. We need to plant. We need the fertilizer to plant. So why isn't Canada stepping in saying, we'll replace that oil that's tied up. We'll replace that fertilizer. We'll replace that LNG. It doesn't make any sense to me. So,
well, you would think so, except like before Iran started, it was 117 here. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I paid $1.55.
Yep.
And I know the supply chain in Alberta. It comes from a hole in the ground in Alberta, mm-hmm. and it goes down to Edmonton where the refineries are, and then it gets trucked back to the station. Nothing has changed. Like, we have absolutely no reason to have a shortage of any type. Our supply chain is like that.
Yep.
That's how it is.
Yep.
So if they come along with some kind of fuel shortage, like it's
already happening, man. We're there. They're saying, oh my gosh, this vaccine or this meningitis is terrible. You've got to get vaccinated, but we don't have a vaccine yet. Stay home, stay safe. Like, that's where we're at right now. Like, that's what they want. Yeah. Oh, energy is a problem. Stay home, stay safe, because, you know, if you use more energy, it's going to get more expensive. What? We are an oil producing country. We should have 50 cents a liter gasoline, probably 25 cents a liter gasoline. And we should stop playing games like this. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely
makes sense,
crazy.
Mark. We can't have that. But that makes sense.
Yes.
It's enough to make you think that the free market is fake.
It is fake. Of course it's fake. Did you see and you know that too, MC, but like all of the GameStop crap, all of that stuff, it's all fake, and they know it's fake. Damn, man. It's crazy. 6RE9. I think that's Greg. Greg, you had your hand up and then you put it down. Do you want to talk? Yeah. Okay, go. Thanks, MC. No, you don't want to talk?
No, I was wondering if you want to be self-sustainable, you got to grow your own grains and start making alcohol and convert your automobile to burn alcohol. That way you can take care of yourself. You don't need to worry about none of that stuff.
Yeah. I heard you can make automobiles also use fast food grease, like fast food oil, like the oil from a
That's
fryer
more like
and stuff like that.
More like a diesel.
Yeah. Yep. I was obsessed with it. I love the idea of a propane car. I wanted a propane car since I was like, as soon as I was driving, I wanted like a Lincoln Town car that was a propane conversion. And my parents were like, you're not allowed to get that. And then every girlfriend I ever had was like, I'm not going to drive in that car with you. I was like, because they were worried about it blowing up. I was like, I'm sure it's fine. And they're like, if you get rear-ended, it might be bad. I'm like, well, I'm sure it's fine though. And I haven't been rear-ended. So.
No, they burn nitrous and alcohol and all kinds of things to get nice fast engines.
I'm sure. So like if the people in charge were actually trying to solve these problems instead of trying to use them as an excuse to crush the citizenry, and I'm not just talking Canada, I'm talking about everywhere, friggin' everywhere, like Australia, all of Europe, everywhere that isn't already subjugated is basically being subjugated. First, it was health reasons. Now it's energy reasons. And it's bullshit. It was bullshit under the health stuff. And they were like, uh-oh, people know about this. Like, uh-oh, we can't lie about this. So now they're going to cut off the gas at the source and be like, I guess you have to bike now to the grocery store because it's $700 to get to the grocery store with your gas car, but you could bike for free. And all these farmers as well, I'd be getting out the old oxen. I'd be getting out oxen teams, and I'd be getting out my plow like in Willow. I'd be like, all right, buddy, we're plowing this field right now.
See, Mark, we need all that money and gas to go to like the spaceport we're going to be building here in like Nova Scotia.
Hard eye roll.
You don't get it, Mark. Obviously.
Yeah, let's spend more money on space. That's real. That's a good investment. Lots of returns on that. People are... And they're so brainwashed.
People to come and visit me,
Yeah, for real, right?
I'm buzzing around up here.
It's so crazy. Yeah, it feels... If there were people who were actually trying to solve the problem and who could see the opportunity here, because there's a clear opportunity for oil-producing nations to increase production and ship that product, right? Here you go, Europe. Here you go, Germany. Here you go, all of these European countries. Here you go, Japan. Except that the United States just gave Japan a bunch of energy. And so they're like, yeah, we're good. Thanks. They've just eaten a steak at the keg. And we're like, do you want a steak at Shea Canada? And they're like, nah, we're good. Thanks very much. We've got the energy we need. We don't need any more energy. And so they're gone. And so if there were people in our government who are actually trying to fix these things, we'd be running at pace. We would not be able to catch up. We would not be able to keep up. People would be working. People would be going to work, building pipelines, filling the pipelines with oil, doing all that stuff. But they don't want that. And they want the excuse to destroy the economy through energy because it failed with COVID, and they're going to get their COVID lockdown. It's the same damn thing. And I'm not going to friggin' well comply. I am not going to comply. But there are people out there who, and like historically, who've made cars work on water, who've made cars work on ethanol, alcohol, all sorts of other things. There are people out there who could figure this out. So even if we had a situation that we don't have any gas, oh my gosh, Canada can't even pull out gas from our own and refine it here. Oh my gosh, we can't do it. Even if we didn't have gas, people would be smart enough to go, okay, we have to pivot. We have to move from this. I'm sure that the hydrogen and water could power something, could turn something, we could split that.
Look at Nikola Tesla.
Oh my God, dude. I love all the alternative.
That's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole.
It's sure. I think people say that he was an export or an immigrant from Tartaria. And that's why he knew what he knew about electricity and things like that. And it's been hidden. And they're hiding how Canada used to be in the 80s and 90s with personal responsibility and free speech and all these things. They're hiding that, and they're hoping that we all forget about that. So then we'll just become good subjects like North Korea and things like that. But they hide it by just erasing history, shutting down conversation, making people unable to share what they know.
History books.
Yeah, and then they say, oh, that's so crazy, free energy. But Einstein's purpose because I think Einstein was a globalist. His purpose was to remove the ether from the conversation, because there's got to be like, we're electric beings. You and me, we're all electric. Electricity is inherent in our moving back and forth and all of that other stuff. We're electric beings. And so there needs to be a medium that powers us. We don't have like wires and stuff. So the medium is in the air. This whole thing is an electromagnet. Like, the earth is an electromagnet. You ground yourself if you touch the earth. You know what I'm saying? And like, so the whole we're being lied to at a level that we can't even comprehend. And those lies we're forgetting them because we're goldfish. And the people who run things know the truth, and they utilize that to manipulate us. And it's very obvious to me, but it sounds bonkers. It sounds batshit crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm pretty sure that some semblance of that story is pretty well true. And so we sit here and watch them start wars because we can't be self-sufficient. You know what else? I was watching Doug and Stacy. They're like Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and they use buckets. They use buckets for their toilets. They don't have a plumbed house. They have buckets, and they use, rather than a septic system or anything like that, they just use buckets. And it's like a privy, like in Game of Thrones that what's his face was sitting on. Like, it's like a whole shelf, and then there's a toilet seat on the shelf, and then the bucket lives underneath, and then you take the bucket and you clean it out. And I think he said it's like 16 buckets for a year of going to the bathroom. But the point of why I'm telling you this is, if we used our own waste to be fertilizer to grow our own food and things like that, Doug and Stacey are like, some people are icky about that, but it is what it is. Like, we excrete valuable nutrients and things like that in our system, in our human, like in our body system. And that is some of the best fertilizer. He's like, we use it for our plants, we use it for our fruit and things like that. And it's the best. And maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like we could be fully self-sufficient if we used systems that actually made sense and leaned into the nature of things. You know what I'm saying? But again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on poop or anything like that. So take it with a grain of salt. Doug and Stacy like it. Ryan, and then Greg. Ryan.
Yeah, actually, just yesterday I was on X. One guy I watch all the time. He gets books from like the 1930s, the 1800s, and stuff
before the reset.
And he was showing. There's this one book that was out. I don't know the name or who wrote it, but he was showing that pyramids actually,
Grand Canyon,
they have energy in them that will help your body restructure like broken bones. Mm-hmm. If you sit in a pyramid shape or whatever, and the frequencies and stuff like that will heal you. And the same thing with food. It'll keep your like apples and oranges and stuff like that fresh for months. You put this stuff in a pyramid shape, and he actually, in this book, he did experiments and proved it.
Interesting.
It was quite cool.
There's a whole
there's ways we can be self-efficient. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. The technologies that are out there are just unbelievable. Yep. Like I say, the plasma machine there. I can't believe that thing. I want one so bad.
Is it the frequency one?
No, the plasma machine isn't frequency.
Okay.
It has to do with the ether.
Okay.
It pulls energy out of the ether and then puts it into electricity or whatever, but it doesn't hurt you. Like, it's not a hurtful electricity energy. It helps heal. Well, it helps jumpstart your what is it? Trying to think here. Your cells. Okay. It jumpstarts your cells in your body, which helps heal whatever elements you have. Like, if you have something bad with your liver, it'll target your liver and heal it. Mm-hmm. And then and start healing other things too. Like, it's interesting. Like I say, it's Tesla, Tesla.com.
Oh, Tesla's doing it? Weird. Like Elon Musk Tesla or a different one? No, different one. Okay.
It's a different one. These scientists are from Mexico.
Oh, okay. So they're working on like Tesla style stuff. Interesting. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
It is.
I just got one more thing.
Oh, sure.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, just what you were saying, like with the energy thing. Yeah, this is already like in Canada, US, they're implementing it, and you've talked about this on your channel. In Australia, they're making it law now, and that's lowering highway speed limits.
Yep.
They're doing your alternate day car access, increased car sharing, all different types of stuff they're implementing right now, especially in Australia, because they're running out of fuel, and they're telling their people that you have to do this. So this is 2.0 lockdown.
Yep. I think
energy and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're gonna see, the thing is, if they think that the laws are gonna apply to drivers but not people illegally entering the country, I think they got another fucking thing coming. Like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to listen to this law. Pretend I just crossed the border illegally. How about that, officer? See you later, bud. Like, I don't think so. You want to give me a ticket? Okay, throw it at the car and we'll see if I catch it. Bye. Like, I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's the biggest thing. We don't comply. Don't comply.
Oh, no, I'm driving on a day you don't want me to drive? How about fuck you, officer? Bye.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any patience for that. I don't have any patience. It's the same thing with I would go rounds with management in Zayres. I would go rounds with management at Walmart. They would come over and they would try to talk nice to me. And I would be like, get out of my space, get out of my area. There's no reason for you to be here. I'm shopping and I have no interest to talk to you. Go away. And they would try and convince me to wear a mask. They'd try and convince me I had to leave. I was like, call the police. And when the police get here, I'll tell them the same damn thing. I am not doing what you want me to do. Show me the criminal code I'm breaking. Fuck off, excuse my French, but no, I'm not doing this, and you can't make me. And I would yell at them, and they get all uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, you don't like it when I raise my voice at you? Like, and this was early on, but I was like, nope.
Out of Subways, I got kicked out of Costco's, I got kicked out of a lot of places.
I went rounds with Costco. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Ryan. Greg.
Yeah, but they got laws against that now, Mark.
I know, because I did that. Now they're like, oh, that's dangerous.
That's what they learned. They learned that from the previous. So now they can put you in jail for that.
They'll try.
You can't fight it. You just got to fix yourself. You just got to do what you need to do.
Yep.
I agree. Can still buy gas, so I'm not making alcohol.
Fair enough. I would want to transition. I would want to have my alcohol buggy ready to go. I would want to have it ready right now, man. I'd want to, boom. Like, I don't need your gas now anyways, because it's too expensive as it is. It should be 40 cents a liter. Never mind 50 cents a liter. It's ridiculous.
I heard about swamp gas. I got a swamp in back.
There was a guy who was using, and all these people who become garage engineers and figure out a way to turn plastic into a usable gasoline and then refine their own oil using the plastic oil that they've taken a plastic item and fed it into their machine and it puts out oil, and then they refine that oil into gasoline or something usable by a car anyway. And I'm blown away.
I still can't believe that you got to add other chemicals to do.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no, they refine it. Like there's a refinery.
You got to heat it up somehow.
There's a bunch of videos on YouTube. This is going back a few years ago, but people were doing that kind of stuff, and people were saying, we could take all this plastic waste and have cars that run on it, and they don't want that. Like the people who make the plastic, the people who make the oil, they don't want this brand new source or anything like that, right? Like they want their oil prices where their oil prices are, and they want them double by next week. $200 per gallon oil or barrel oil. They want it, man. They just
want us useless eaters dead.
Yes, well that too. Yes, that too. But they also want slaves, and they're pretty sure that Elon Musk's Terminators.
I won't be one of them.
No, but we already are. Like that's the slave. We're already a slave class. We give 60% of our production to them so they can import our replacements, and that's weird. Like nobody seems to care, and I'm like, that's weird because they're not using our tax dollars for helping the country. They're using our tax dollars to help themselves with their ideology and bringing in more communists to destroy the country. So like, I don't understand why we're allowing it to happen, but here we are allowing it to happen. It's wild.
I seen an article this week of this Cuban guy. He's turned his 1980s Polish Polsky little car, and he's powering it with charcoal.
Love it. I've seen cars, steam powered cars, you know, like the steam
Some
engine.
steampunk shit.
Yeah. Well, this is like late 1800s or 1850 or something like that. People were driving around with a steam powered car and he's got boiling water on the front and the car's pooping around. They're like booping around, whatever. I was like, that's great. Give me a steam powered car. How hard is this? Like, I can boil water. Come on. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think that there are alternatives, and if we had honest people in charge, we would be exploring the alternatives, write me out, and then exporting the alternatives. People would be like, holy cow, this works so well, we could send it everywhere. But instead, we're like, oh no, what are we going to do? We're short on oil. And somebody's like, hey, what about Alberta? And they're like, we just can't do anything about this at all. We don't know where any oil is. What about Alberta?
What about Quebec? Ooh.
What about Alberta? Anyway, ridiculous. Thanks, Greg. MC.
Well, I was in Ecuador a couple of years ago, and in the capital of Ecuador, they have Monday to Friday restrictions based on the last digit of your license plate. So on Monday, if you have a 1 or a 2, you can't drive. So what does that cause? Everyone's going out and buying a used car and hoping that they get a license plate with a different last number this time. I think there's even like bribery and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like I want a 6.
I need a 6. You don't understand. I need a 6. there's no, yeah.
I don't know. There's different ways to keep us down, I guess. But they said that was because of overcrowding in traffic.
Well, I mean, look at what London's done with the ULEZ, which I think is a ridiculous acronym, like ultra low emission zone, ULEZ. Ooh, the ULEZ. I think it's weird. Everything's an acronym these days, but London is basically doing the same thing. New York is going to be doing the same thing. They're going to have, are you white and own a car? That's an extra tax because, you know, that's, what is it?
The reparations.
Yeah, right. Because they're so privileged. That's the word I was looking for. That's privilege. You privileged get to pay for this extra tax thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. So what do you guys think is happening in Iran? Do you think that, so at the very beginning of this thing, they were like, holy shirt balls, all the Persians took over all the Iranian cities. The mullahs are on. They're dressing in women's clothing. They're escaping to Russia. Everybody's leaving. Khomeini's dead. The whole country is going to fall like today or tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, 30,000 protesters were killed by the regime that was falling apart and was overwhelmed by the protesters and the U.S. military. And now the regime is firing missiles, double their their allowed range at Diego Garcia, the island in the Indian Ocean that has a U.S.-UK base. It doesn't make any rational sense to me. All of these stories seem like all of them are fake. It's like you come home and you tell one story and then that doesn't work anymore. So you tell another story and that doesn't work anymore. So you tell a third story and none of them make sense with each other either. And all of them seem false. And so like, I don't believe we've found the truth about what's going on in Iran at all. And it seems weird that the regime in Iran seems more powerful now than when they had all their leadership intact and stuff. So yeah, what do you guys think? Peter, you're up first.
Well, they also seem to have drones,
Massive amounts of drones.
They got to
cancel
a helicopter trip to the battleship where they can go victory, victory, victory. And but even the didn't CISA say that they've got sort of underground Iranians in Canada, like the Goldie, what's her name, the NPP Goldie that was Gomorrah, threatened, and it's just. I think we have a federal MP that's a IRGC supporter too. So
I think we have a lot of them
somewhere in Vaughan.
Everybody was posting about Eid. I was like, no, we don't do that here. That's not.
It just. So I'll believe it when I see it, but chances are I'm not going to see it because I'm not on the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I guess so, right? But all the people who are on the Strait of Hormuz don't seem to know what's going on either. So it's weird,
and they don't seem to be too eager to go and help keep it open.
Right? If I was India and like 50% of the oil that we get is coming right out of the Strait of Hormuz, I'm not being quiet about this. But India hasn't done anything till yesterday, right? And same with China. You'd think that China would be like, hey guys, like cut it off because
maybe if India sent the same number of Indians to Iran that they send to Canada, Iran would collapse in a minute.
yeah. Population of Iran's 90 million though, right? Isn't it? 90 million
Yeah,
people?
I think so.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that surprised me because like people were saying that it's only 134,000 IRGC. So like how's the IRGC controlling 90 million people, right? Like,
well, they're highly weaponized, I think.
I guess so, but I mean like I guess so. Is that enough?
I mean, when you think the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917 for all of Russia was carried out by a handful of Bolsheviks, there weren't a lot of people involved. I mean, you just have to take over key, like how much would it take to take over Canada? Not very many.
Well, it's already happened.
Trump
We've already been taken over by
Well,
radicals. The same Bolsheviks who orchestrated the Holodomor, the same Bolsheviks who then moved into Germany. Yeah, man. I think that it's all the same. Direct line. I think those people realized after the end of the Second World War that you couldn't have a seat of power in a country and you had to have supranational organizations like the UN, League of Nations, WHO. So after the Second World War, they started building that infrastructure. We watched them build it. And now they're utilizing that instrument as a state. They're wielding it as a weapon and as a state, but it doesn't have any teeth because the teeth were supposed to be the U.S. military. But Donald Trump's in charge right now, and they don't have that option. So that's kind of screwing up NATO's world domination plans. NATO, United Nations world domination plan, same thing. So we'll see.
I mean, they got it. They got it by installing Skidmark Carney. I mean, look at he got like what 80% of all the ridings in Canada when they were running for the leadership.
Yeah,
like even Thunder Thighs Freeland,
it's rigged,
their own
man.
riding went 80% for. I mean,
it's rigged.
Talk about installed. Anyway,
super rigged.
We've been overtaken.
Yep. Oh yeah, we have. Thanks, Peter. Max.
The Middle East makes sense because it's just another forever war. I don't think there's really much to say about it, but like. This exact behavior we've seen from Trump is indicative of some of the Bush era.
I maintain that it doesn't.
Forever wars, saying like, oh yeah, guys, we're like in and out when like their actions have said that they've declared victory 3 or 4 times now. This is just a like forever war, and I think the vast and the wider implications of it is that Trump has cooked himself in the midterms.
He was cooked in the midterms anyway. Before any of this happened, people were saying you need to do more. You need to.
Where's the mass deportations? Like
mass deportations,
like,
all sorts of. Everybody was saying that he's cooked. He's trying to get the Save Act passed, and the Republicans are doing the talking filibuster now. I think they're working through whatever they have to do to pass the Save Act. With
but like
51.
if you see what all the podcast circuit is saying. Nobody is liking the Trump administration right now because of a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Middle East, Epstein files, mass deportations, where the U.S. is still funding Israel. There's multiple reasons why people don't want to go to war in the Middle East, and rightfully so.
Sure. I don't disagree with that, but I feel like is everybody happy with doing so? Like, if Trump didn't do what he did with Venezuela, then that stays the same. There's no change. There's no impetus to change. It stays the same. And so if Trump doesn't do that, then he doesn't meaningfully move anything forward on that file, right? Trump doesn't do Iran, then it stays the same, and if not more powerful than it was. And like I didn't view
but like Iran's been on the brink of nukes for like the past 50 years, and now everyone believes it now all of a sudden.
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Future behavior.
Okay, but I don't necessarily think that the Iranian could be any day nukes thing is real. Like, and I was saying at the beginning of the show that I don't think we've been told anything that's real about Iran. Like, it seems all of the stories conflict, right? Like, it doesn't make sense if the 90 million Persians were in the streets. It doesn't make sense that the regime would gain control that easily. They lost cities, as far as I understood it, at the beginning. So I don't believe that we've been told everything about Iran. And so, like, I've said this before, and I could be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong, but I think that there's more to this. And I think that if Iran is a deep state kind of puppet government, a country that's just controlled by the deep state, and I think the deep state is using communism as a mask, as a protecting kind of thing, because you can control speech and all sorts of things.
It's a shield, essentially.
It's a shield, yeah. So I think that when you have a situation where the public believes one thing, and it's really easy to confirm that public belief, then you can use that as cover while you're doing operations for another reason. You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't want a forever war. If Trump is not...
I understand what you're saying. I'm just tired of like everyone saying, "Oh man, you got to trust like the like whole 4D chess plan." I'm tired of hearing it, because right now I've seen no real meaningful results.
Yeah, no,
I'm tired of hearing that from like everybody, whether it's Q, some of these influencers close to like the like whole Trump admin. I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that they're telling the truth either. I don't want a forever war. Like, I don't think that... I'm not a Trump acolyte. He can do anything, and I'm going to support him. That's not... when he said get vaccinated, I was like, that's kind of weird. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm not going to do that. And so I think that, like, I don't want a forever war. And I think that if Trump gets bogged down in the Iranian thing, and he lets it destroy his economy, then he's losing, and he wasn't the strategist or chess player that people thought he was. But I look at this as well from the other point of view, is like the American people. We didn't get a choice. We just get to watch the show. But the American people had a choice between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and there wasn't another choice. It wasn't like Kamala Harris or somebody else and somebody else and somebody else or Trump. It was Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris represented standing pat, doing nothing, keeping things exactly as they are, watching the continued decline of the United States, throwing people in jail for speech, throwing people in jail for political reasons like January 6th, all of that kind of stuff. That's what Kamala Harris represented. And Trump represented a break from that. And now he's doing the things that people wanted him to do with regards to doing things differently. Venezuela is an example. Iran is an example. Venezuela went better than Iran, probably, but I don't know. I don't know everything. And so when I look at the alternative, is it better? Would it have been better to have Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump? And I can't come to the conclusion that, yes, that would have been better. I look at everything that's happening, and I think we're in a war. Misinformation is necessary in a war, especially in a war for information. And to have cover when you're doing operations that may not be palatables, maybe not the right word, but that you don't want to share with the public. And so you're going to let the public believe whatever they want to believe until the reveal. But again, I could be wrong. Like, I just don't think that what we're being told is accurate. And on purpose, I don't think it's accurate. I think that they're misleading us on purpose. And we are in a conflict, an active conflict. And it doesn't always go to plan. And I think that's what we're watching, more than Trump trying to take over Iran. When George Bush was taking over Iraq, it was weapons of mass destruction. It was a 24/7 weapons of mass destruction was on the news all the time. 24/7. We have to do this. It's going to be quick, but we have to do this because weapons of mass destruction, blah, 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 blah. And
that's the same logic for Iran, though. But the difference is it's not on the news. It's on social media. That's the only difference.
It is, I guess.
It's the same playbook.
Yeah. It's what people expect, I guess. So it was different with regards to Iraq, because they were trying to make the threat of the nuclear they were trying to make the nuclear threat real. And in this situation, they're trying to make it like we've saved you guys from this threat. So you might be right, Max. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I could be wrong, for real. Thanks, Max. MC.
Well, I was listening to Premier Swallow to Bee yesterday talking about, they killed 30,000 protesters. Well, you guys made it 100,000 Canadians. So shut the frig up. Like, I'm not interested in listening to anything these guys have to say anymore. It's all lies.
Yeah.
And going back to what someone was saying, you can't send 2 million Indians to Iran because Iran has what countries used to refer to as an immigration policy, and they would like say, no, you're not allowed to come here. Yeah, unlike us, right?
Yep.
Where we have a check instead.
We have an app that you can just approve, and you don't have to talk to anybody. You just walk in. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's huge. I mean, that's part of my problem as well. Like, there's massive issues in Canada, and we are 100% focused on Iran and saying, the real problems in Canada are all the fault of the Iranian war, and that just started. Like,
yeah. Well, it could be that it's just a big thing for us to look at. Like, like it could be just like you could be right. Like, maybe it is pseudo made up, but then why? Like, there is actually missiles landing on Israel and stuff like that, and which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Maybe like we were shown video game footage for the Ukraine war, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
So like, I agree, it does seem like missiles are landing in Israel, but also, who could know?
Maybe not.
Yeah, who could know? And there are people who say they have family and people in Israel, and like who are giving updates and things that I've seen on X and things like that. And like, not me personally, I don't know anybody in Israel, and I'm not getting updates from anybody in Israel. Third party people that I see on X. My sister says this in Israel, and again, you got to take that with a grain of salt. That's not like objective truth. That's an anecdotal story. And yeah, I don't know how in the age of the government and the media can lie to you, and also anybody in the world can create AI videos of anything they want to create. I don't know how you reasonably discern what's going on from.
Yeah. And yeah. And actually,
told.
now that you bring it up like that, it kind of makes me think, like, how come they're not like trying to finish each other off? Like, it doesn't seem like either side's really trying to win.
Yeah. It sure looks like a pantomime. And then Bibi Netanyahu's dead and alive, and he can't make his appointments and stuff. So that's weird too, right? If Bibi's dead, is that a big get for Iran? You know what I mean? Like, is that a big thing for them? Maybe it is. Like, I don't know, man. It's a super weird thing. It's just like them getting the tanker, right? It's just like Iran, or not the tanker, the aircraft carrier. But I heard that also it was sailors who were on board who were unhappy, disgruntled sailors. That's what I heard of the aircraft carrier that was, and they had been on the aircraft carrier for a year or something like that too. And I was like,
they clogged the toilets with T-shirts or something like that.
Yeah. And I was like, that's terrible for your own. Like, you're gonna have to poop soon. Like, that is definitely gonna impact you. How far away from shore were you?
I heard the story in the last couple of days that the crews on the ships are running out of drinking water.
I heard that too, in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or in the Persian Gulf.
Yep.
Because they're not allowed to leave.
Yeah, same. Yeah, and they're not allowed to go to the Port Authority and ask for water. They're not allowed to get restocked or anything like that. It's like, this is all very, very odd. This doesn't seem like normal. Doesn't seem, no. And it doesn't seem like, oh yeah, that makes perfect. Yeah, deny those sailors water. Yeah, okay, cool. I understand. War. Yeah, just deny them water. That's bad. That'll make things better.
In a few months, free ships.
I guess so, right? Yeah. Look at all this cargo we found, and nobody's there to say anything about it. Finders keepers. Thanks, MC. Ryan.
Yeah, I just want to I agree with Max there. It's kind of hard to trust Trump. Like last year we were talking about when June 20th, it was June 22nd, 2025, Trump went in, 12-day war, and destroyed all Iran's nuclear plant capability. Mm-hmm. And so did he lie about that? And now he had to go back in and take out their nukes again, or what?
Wow.
I
don't even think nukes are real in the first place.
Right? Yeah. Well, I know that, but it was all propaganda. The Top Gun Top Gun propaganda. Yeah, we went in and destroyed all their freaking nukes. Well, now he's back in there destroying the nukes. It's coming out now that that girls' school was an elite girls. It was an elite school for like general kids of generals, scientists, and what happened was they hit the school, they killed the kids 40 minutes, and then waited 40 minutes, and so the parents would come in, and then they nailed it again. And so yeah, you're gonna start a war that way. And so I think that's what they needed to start a war. It's going to be the same playbook, depopulation, everything like that. With in the States, Larry Silverstone, he bought the two towers.
Oh yeah, the insurance thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he bought
a tower in LA.
He bought the U.S. Bank Tower in LA, and he's put a terrorist attack insurance on it.
If I had that kind of money, I'd have a big greenhouse and maybe a gas refinery just beside the greenhouse.
So I think there is a lot more in this. Like,
Sure.
Well, and then Trump came out and he said that he's going to put the Coast Guards in every state in April, and they're getting ready for what they're training for is upheaval, people getting pissed off and mad. So that's going to happen in April. And with Iran, I don't know. I was watching this one guy. I watch him all the time. I kind of trust him, but you got to take this in you got to think about this. Check it out for yourself. There was a scientist from Iran, kind of a scientist guy who's talking about the structure of Iran's military, and the military they've been watching U.S. go into different countries for the last 50 years, and what they've done is done a mosaic structure of their military where they have the high command, and then they have 31 provinces, and each province has a general. And what happens is if there's a war started, the generals, they already have a letter in a safe or whatever, and they open the safe, they read the letter, and each general is now in control of their own, that military, that whole province. They can decide anything they want. They can do anything they want. They don't need the high command to tell them to do what to do. So they can bomb, they can send missiles at any time, and then all 31 provinces are stockpiled. They're under the desert. I've seen video. All you see is nothing but desert, and you see a missile come out. So I'm thinking they got tunnels everywhere. And they haven't even shown the best stuff yet.
Probably
like
not.
I think they're armed to the teeth. That
Maybe
they can control what they're doing. They've been watching this for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta realize too, like China and Russia, they got plans too. They know that US was gonna bomb Iran one day. And so we haven't even seen them come out yet. And I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It is gonna be a forever war, because they need their, I guess, Antichrist prophet coming out. It has to do with all different fractions.
Yep.
Well, and Iran came out. They got, by April 10th, they told the U.S. we want these stipulations. We want all the U.S. military out of the Gulf, Persian Gulf.
Yep.
We want $500 billion, all different kinds of things. By the 10th, they're going to light up. different things too. So that's something to watch for.
That'll be interesting. We'll see if they can do anything if Trump has to go in and destroys all their power plants.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Greg.
Trump says that Iran is destroyed.
Yes, victory. Clear victory.
There it is.
Right, yeah.
What are we worried about?
I know, right? I know.
It's all finished up.
We're gonna talk about another victory tomorrow. Yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he might be right, but again, I don't know if we can trust anything coming out of the region at all for various reasons, because all of the stories conflict. So
I'm watching the fuel go up maybe $2 by the end of the month.
Maybe
$4 by summer.
Hope not, but that's the goal. Sure is the goal.
Yep. That's the way it's going.
Yep. Oh, I know. I'm well aware, man. I can see it. If Trump is able to fix this, there'll be something else they throw at him. It's not going to just be at this either. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whether he's on a side we'd agree with, or whether he's on his own side, what he's doing is shaking things up, and they don't want him to be successful. Regardless of whether he's fighting for the American citizen, the American everyman or whatever, they don't want him to be successful. So they're going to do everything they can to screw with him in his economy and everything. And this energy thing, what an angle, because people will blame Trump for this, and maybe rightly so.
Diesel's really.
Yep.
Diesel's a good 50, 60 cents above regular unleaded.
Yep. That's because it's paid with corporate credit cards. People don't care. They don't even look at the price of the, to fill their truck or whatever.
Yeah, but I pay for that when I go and buy my salad from the grocery store.
I know, but it's the reason they do that is so that they can keep the public on their side, right? Like, because most people don't connect grocery stores' prices with the price of diesel. Unfortunately, they should, but they don't. Thanks, Greg. Steve.
Well, what fascinates me is nobody talks about China, right? And they are not nice.
Yes, that's true.
Like look at the ocean raping. Look at their blue boats. Look at
fishing stuff. Yeah.
You look at their airports have fast lanes for organ harvesting. They like.
So does Canada's engaging in that now too, aren't we? We're giving organs to people left and right.
Yeah, where'd they get that idea, right?
Well, and the funny thing is, people don't understand. You can't harvest organs from a dead person.
Well, exactly. So they hold these people hostage in these camps, and they all have their blood taken and their genomes verified, and they're just basic harvesting clones that they keep alive. Like it's.
You ever see The Island?
It's pretty sick. And what's weird is there's no highlight globally about how evil these people are.
People don't even. I think that there's
soft power, and like I just don't understand how China gets a pass all the time. Like
I don't think it's even just China. So like China's engaging in it, but I think there's off books breeding of humans on purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're on an island, sort of like no birth certificate.
Seed banks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The seed banks. Do you not think we have a genome bank? Like I'll never tap into 23andMe or whatever. No,
Gosh,
you don't get to. You don't get to put my genome sequencing into your data file. Like, what?
Yeah, but all these islands. So like people understand that this island thing is a real thing. Jeffrey Epstein's island. They were going to the island. There were kids involved. I don't think they understand like what they were actually doing. You know what I mean? And sure, human trafficking children, sex trafficking of children, that's terrible. But what if it's even worse? What if it's actually they're breeding kids for the explicit purpose of sex trafficking?
In the file said, "Oh man, that's something your like clone would say."
Yeah,
but
did anybody see that?
I didn't see that, but yeah, it's plausible.
Series? Did you guys watch that? It was a movie about how these people just got invited by millionaires to go to this island, and they drugged them, and they forgot everything every day, and they could do whatever they wanted to them. And I forget what that movie was, but that was scary, my friend, that they had the pharmaceuticals that they could just manipulate. And
they don't even need pharmaceuticals now, man.
MK Ultra, baby.
Yeah, they could just use AI videos and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely real.
Yeah, anyway, scary. But my point is China is asshole. True. Like, have we forgotten?
But so is Canada now, man.
Well, I know, but we're
It's pretty
super
terrible.
infiltrated. And how come we don't talk about Canada, the narco state? Like, where is that in our world? Like, it's
For
been
real.
so prominent for 30 years. They own all the Western seaboard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they sure do.
So why? It just floors me. I just thought I'd bring that up. It blows
Yeah,
my mind.
me
And I
too.
know that's only one aspect.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get it. That's all I was saying.
Yep, hard to fight back. You get your sword, and you're like, boop, 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 boop. And then you find 3 more heads of this Hydra thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is worse than I thought. So yeah, crazy, man. Thanks, Steve. Greg again.
China has a forward operating base in Prince Edward Island, from what I hear.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that it was
In 3 locations.
underwater. I heard it was like a sub
Maybe.
something. Yeah, like did you ever watch? I think it was The
They're
Abyss.
monks. Who's watching monks?
They're monks. Yeah, maybe. They're very, very
They're
well trained
digging.
monks. Yeah.
Maybe they're digging and spreading the soil out and planting.
Well, somebody was
That's what
saying
they're doing.
somebody was pointing out the proximity to an American underwater research base or something like that, and so the Chinese have some kind of similar one, and it seems like the Chinese are watching the Americans from our
I don't know.
waters.
There's old star forts in New Brunswick.
Cool. Have
Could
you
be
been?
anything.
Have you been to them?
Not yet.
Yeah, you
No,
should go.
no.
I'd be interested to see. It's the sacred geometry and the star forts and the cathedrals. They're all interrelated. Very interesting stuff. Pretty wild. Thanks, Greg. Max?
I kind of want to just move away from like Iran.
Sure.
C9 is going to pass.
Oh yeah, sure is. Sure
That's definitely great. And I know it was on your show, but Garnet Genius doing like damage control, I guess, because the CPC failed, because they fail at everything they do,
Yep.
like always, like clockwork.
Yep.
And also like Pierre, I watched parts of the interview, but honestly, I couldn't be bothered.
Yep.
Did Pierre mention C9 on Rogan or no?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with MMA, so they didn't really talk about that. So
Oh, fuck off. Oh, my lord. But yeah, C9's going to pass, and they're probably gonna get it passed before April, or like whenever they go on holiday, because like when would they go on holiday? Like late April, like 20, like around
May,
20?
sometimes May, sometimes April, sometimes May, depending. But yeah, it's like university hours. You know,
Yeah.
University.
Yeah, that's
C9's
kind of
gonna
question I
pass.
had. Is that before the by-elections? Are you saying they're going to pass it before they do the by-elections? The
They're
3
trying to ram it
by-elections?
through.
Pretty sure they could. They're gonna try.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
trying to ram it
that's
through.
my question. I was wondering about that.
Yep. It's going to be not good. That's for sure. Definitely not
What
good.
is good anyway?
No, I'm just saying they're stacking the deck, and they're moving at a pace that people are going to forget, and they
But
own.
no, Mark, you
all
don't
the media.
understand.
How hard do you
Joe
think
Rogan
they'll go on
interviews
that?
change the game. You
How-
you don't get it, Mark. Be like Joe Rogan interview has like changed the game, and somehow the like right wing in Canada is going to get a like W.
Yeah,
somehow.
no, I don't
Out of thin
I
air.
don't see that happening.
When it passes, how hard do you think they're going to go on that the first week? Like
Jeremy
what-
McKenzie's
What do you
Jeremy
think?
McKenzie's number one.
Jeremy McKenzie's the target. Jeremy
Yeah.
McKenzie and the Sons, the Second Sons, and all that.
Second Sons, I'd say Dominion Society is like up there, second place, and probably some other fringe guys, and they might go after like all the Alberta separatists. Those are the 3 factions I could see.
Yeah,
being
I was
used
going to say Ferryman.
in C9.
Ferryman might be a target as well because he's influential.
Well, like they're diagonal adjacent, so Second Sons adjacent. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Start giving them fines or put a start.
No, they just arrest them.
Yeah, I think, and then once they arrest them, it'll be lawfare. It'll be like you have to, and it'll be like, oh, you're arrested for a hate crime, and it's gonna be, it's blasphemy laws. It is, yeah, absolutely. So, pretty crazy stuff, man. And it's, if you are trying to hold somebody accountable, if you are trying to hold a public figure accountable, that's gonna be seen as like, no, you can't do that. You know, like that's bad. You can't say that. It's mean. But being mean is not illegal. You know, like there's criminal code stuff that.
There's also that surveillance bill in Parliament too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
C-22.
I forget the exact name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22. That just gives the government access to like whether banking records or like just like cell data. That's also bad. And like these bills are going to form like the like unholy trinity of like surveillance crackdown.
Yep. I don't think you're wrong there, man.
They'll be able to check your phone, without any warrants and stuff like that.
Without even taking your phone, they'll just search through your phone while you're.
There's also the bill where they can check your mail without warrants too. I don't know if that's in the same bill, but I think it's covered under one of them.
And it's funny, like
it's rough, man.
I don't do anything illegal. The worst thing I do is the show. Like, I'm not a law breaking kind of person. You know what I mean? I try and do the right thing, the moral thing, right? And so it's interesting that the government is trying to criminalize normal behavior, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's scary. So, thanks, Max. I hope you're wrong. MC.
As soon as they pass that law, I can't wait to go online after that and say how much I hate the government and all their communist bullshit shenanigans. And if they're gonna watch my phone, like when I drive, it's in a holder, and a rubber band holds it in the holder, so the camera is covered by the rubber band. But I'll have to make up a song about how much I hate the government that I can sing to myself while I'm driving, I guess. But like, I intend to deliberately violate that law. It's completely unjustified. And then when they come to my undisclosed location to talk to me about it, I'll have my turn to tape myself telling them to fuck off, because nope. And I think everyone should like go get yourself an account and just say like, hey, the Canadian government's full of shit and they need to go away. And like every day, just mock them. They don't have enough cops.
Yep. Although Britain is making a good show, and they're trying to intimidate people to stop. And
we saw this
I don't think
week
it's
where
working.
that woman was intimidated.
Which woman?
Where like she called Mark Carney like a Zionist.
Yep.
Remember they had like RCMP, I think, show up to her door.
You're not allowed to call somebody a Zionist?
He's really talked about that.
What if they're self-described Zionists? Yeah, like what if Wyatt Claypool says he's a Zionist?
A good Shabbos goy.
Yeah,
that's
right.
all I'm saying.
Her post said, "I'm coming for you."
Right? Yeah,
that could be figurative, right?
Yeah.
And but she's an old woman. Like what?
I'm coming for you. I've got a knitted sweater that I'm working on. Yeah, no. I try not to be threatening. I try to be clear that I'm disappointed in the bad policies. I'm disappointed in the direction. I think that people are traitors. I think that the government is communist. And I think that these are positions I'm allowed to hold. I don't think this is any kind of like outside of the realm of crazy. You know what I mean? And if it is, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think that saying that is not allowed. Like I would say it to their faces as well. And I don't think that that's, bad, because they're public figures, and I wouldn't threaten those people. I'm not going to be violent with those people, but I certainly hope they're held accountable. I certainly hope that the law catches up with them, because I think that they broke the law just with COVID, and I think that the intention behind the government is not being acted out by the people who are in the government now. Like the intention behind the government was to represent the citizens, and the people who are in the government now don't represent the citizens, and they don't care to. And so calling that out, I don't think is bad. I think it's a civic responsibility, but they're going to frame it as criminal code harassment, criminal code hate, criminal code, whatever the heck they can make stick. You know what I mean? And it's invalid.
Isn't that what C9 is for?
Yeah. But it's invalid. Like they can't do that, and they can try, but they could try and even have the courts, but the courts are corrupt too. It's all invalid. I don't care if they don't like what I say. I'm not being threatening, but if you are threatening, if you're like, I am going to hurt you, I am going to come for you, like you should probably be very clear about what you're trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, because leaving it ambiguous.
But being threatening now isn't up to you. It's up to the listener.
I guess so.
Right?
You're not wrong.
They get to decide if they feel like you're threatening. Right? That's what all these things are about, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's true. But that's what I mean. It's invalid. You know what I mean? Like you can say, "Oh, you're threatening and therefore that's illegal and that's hateful and it's based on this and based on that and you're a hateful person based on these things." But it's still invalid. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things where you can say that, but it doesn't make it true. You can say that, but it's not real. You know, you can say we're a rule of law country, but that doesn't make us a rule of law country when you behave in a way that's not rule of law.
Yeah, but they'll still haul you away.
I know. But I think it'll fail. I think it'll fail over the long run. I hope it will. It's one of those things that I don't think it can last. And maybe it lasts 70 years and I die in a prison or something like that because I refuse to bend the knee. But it can't last. Like, I'm not going to bend the knee to liars. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to agree that I'm hateful because of their cracked version of hate.
Yeah, but at the same time, have you looked around? Like what I mean is that people are like eating this shit up. Like, it seems like it's going to last a while because people haven't reached their breaking point. Like, it's going to last for a while longer.
Yeah, maybe.
And people don't understand that.
Yeah, maybe. But it'll last longer if people acquiesce to it. If people don't point out the idiocy of all of this. If people don't say, hey, no, I'm not doing this. If we didn't have the Freedom Convoy, COVID would still be running. They'd still be pushing us on that. Oh, no, new strain. Get your masks on. They'd still be pushing us. And we said no. And that was not a political
Yeah, but they're
solution.
still pushing us. They're just using different avenues.
I know. And that's why I'm so adamant that I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no. You can't do this. And you can encode it in law. That makes it invalid. Your laws are invalid because they're not legal. They do not take my rights into consideration. You can write these laws. You can force these laws on people. You can pass them in the House of Commons. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And you want to throw me in jail? Okay. You throw me in jail because I'm a thought criminal and you let out all those violent people. Eventually somebody's going to realize this is terrible, right? Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And they're not going to be able to do it. They had to let Lucy Connolly out. They jailed her and they're like, oh, you're terrible for writing that tweet. They jailed her. They had to let her out. Nope. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen. They can try. And like, if they throw me in jail and all that, I hope not to. I don't want to go to jail. That's not it. I'm not saying anything that I think is hateful. If they decide I'm hateful, then I guess a judge will have to decide. And the whole cracked court system, I'll tell them to their face how cracked they are and that I don't believe in the legitimacy of any of this nonsense. And the same with Randy Hillier and the same with all of this nonsense. It's nonsense. They don't have legitimacy. So if they want to rule the country, they can't do it by order in council and order from on high and order from the judge's bench. They can get bent. They're not going to inhabit my brain. I'm not going to modify what I'm doing because what I'm doing is correct and moral and normal.
I get that. But the thing is, they have a monopoly on violence. Sure.
I understand what you're saying too.
And I'm not trying to downplay what you're saying. I'm just adding on to the fact when like this system has the like monopoly on violence, whether it's the like military, police or mobs that they can rile up.
Yep.
That's something like everyone has to be aware of.
Yep. It's true. You're not wrong. And I don't recommend not that I don't recommend during COVID, I recommended other people do stand up to things and say no. I surely recommended that. But like, you have to understand the stakes, so it's one of those things. I hope that it doesn't go in that direction. I hope we're able to wind it back. We were able to wind COVID back, so fingers crossed. Noel's had his hand up for a while, so thanks everybody. MC, no.
I just want to give a small little update to that prevented school shooting, I guess we could call it, in Nova Scotia. That's less than 20 minutes from me.
Crazy.
My neighbor's crazy, yeah. Like my neighbor's daughter goes there to that school. I work with a couple of people that their kids go there, and everybody's just really like taken back by it. First off, we usually have some of the most incompetent RCMP down here, so for them to even be able to do this, let alone it was a 15-year-old kid, but they only knew it because of the help of the RCMP and Interpol somehow. And it just brings the question of, there's your proof. Everybody out there, there's your proof. Everything you write, everything you talk about, somebody's monitoring it. If two 15-year-old or 15 and 14-year-old kids got caught doing this, no, I don't know where they were online talking about this, but because I do know people that go there, the insight is this, and you'll never hear this in the media. A lot of commentators, like even the Moose was asking this. Yes, Sogi has 100% an issue here. There was definitely problems with the individual and an identifiable SOGI issue. So
Really?
yeah, just I started asking, myself this: if you knew of a drug that was okay to give to people, and especially young people, but the consequence of the drug was they turn violent, they have violent tendencies, not all the time, but there seems to be more and more evidence that there is issues of that.
Well,
and
when you give people cross-sex hormones,
how do we normalize this? It's over and over and over again. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
now, this school was a school of 880 students.
Wow.
It's a big school.
Yep.
And they're only like from 10 to 12, like
Wow.
grade 10 to grade 12. And it would have been a hell of a shame if this ever did happen. And it just makes you, it makes you think, right? Like, we're small town, Nova Scotia area. You know what I mean? Like, this is just ridiculous for this to be even thought through a kid's head. And it's a shame.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
But it's a lesson to everybody. You never know when trouble like that could happen.
Also, watch your kids.
Keep your emotional fit.
Yep.
Talk to your kids. Like, know what your kids are doing. If you got kids, know what your kids are doing. Don't be a prick, but don't think that you shouldn't be. You need to know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's got to be a balance. They can fall into traps here and there. It's a lot different world than it was when we were kids. So yeah, I hear you.
It is, but this SOGI mentality that they're teaching is very damaging. And at least this was thwarted. But was this only thwarted because of what happened in Tumbler Ridge there?
Yeah, I don't know. Scary stuff, man.
Have they just started looking harder? Who knows? It's a challenge, though, and it's a challenge for the community, because some of the kids, they don't even understand how serious it really was, and then some other kids are like, they understand how serious it was, and it's affecting them. So Monday is the return to school here for these kids.
Yeah, fingers crossed it goes well.
There's going to be a lot of conversations. There's going to be a lot of conversations had to be happening over the next week in a lot of households.
Yep. Thanks, Noel. Ryan, and then I got to call it a day.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a little update on Alberta independence.
Sure.
Keith Wilson, he came out with a video saying that the independence question is going to be on a separate ballot.
Oh, okay.
So, which is that's
good
news.
That is good news.
And look forward to the numbers will be probably coming out April 7th around there.
I heard that they've got the needed number. The needed number is 177,000. They're going for 500,000, and I think that they're close for that. And so that's crazy, man.
My issue with Keith Wilson is that he still thinks the law actually matters.
Right. That's my issue with John Carpe as well. Like, man, like, it is very clear that these institutions are corrupt, and I don't know how you can play against these corrupt institutions without recognizing that fact. It's just scary.
The Clarity Act is a federal law, right?
We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hope it works, man. I hope it works. I'm on your side. I want it to happen.
I know.
But I'm so worried. I'm so worried. I think that they're going to have, I'm so worried. They're going to have all sorts of different reasons why it's not null and void and not okay. And blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's where the people have to stand up.
Yep.
And that's what you were saying with all this C9. Like, we got to stand with you, Mark. Like, you're not going to jail, bud.
We're not doing that. I don't want to go to jail. And especially I don't want to go to jail for lampooning and laughing at the ridiculous policies and the ridiculous government.
I'm going to do the exact same as MC. I'll be out there telling them what I think.
Good. I hope so. Thanks, Ryan. Okay, MC, and then we got to wrap it up.
Well, there's a reason why laws aren't written in plain English, right? And like, I remember here in Alberta, judges a judge went to court because he wasn't getting paid enough, and of course the judge that was in the court agreed
Like,
that you're right,
that's
the
true.
judges need to get paid more so that they're not influenced, so they disconnect themselves from society, right? And the whole legal profession is basically an intellectual exercise in semantic bullshit that has no bearing on real life. Those guys have got to go.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way to do it than some guy that thinks he deserves $200 an hour to sit there and make shit up.
Yep. Well, and I think that we'd be better served by a tribunal of 3 people, and they get to decide one case. And it's like jury duty, but no juries. You sit there, and then the people come in and they explain what happened, and they explain what happened. And then you 3 go back and make your decision, and then you come and tell them, and that's that. You know what I mean? Like,
boom.
I don't see any reason. Why do we need to make a career out of this? Like, why do we need to have judges? Why do you have to be on a separate level to me to sit in judgment of me in these court systems? I don't think so. We should all be the same level. This is what happened. This is what happened. I'll abide by your determination so long as I think that it's valid. If I feel like you've been bribed in the back by the other guy there, then I'm not going to abide by the thing. But like, so long as there's checks and balances, and I think that we could do it so much better without a lot of the corruption, by removing the institutionalization of it as well. And I mean, like, if you have something like the Supreme Court of like in the United States, where they've got the 9 justices, that institution then becomes a target for packing, becomes a target to neutralize. And so I feel like you can bring it back to the people, and bring it back to a very small circle of like, we're gonna do our best to be fair with this, and like that's the best we can do. You know.
Well,
the Constitution from that Bruce Barty written up, his idea is kind of similar to that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's interesting. Yeah, it is.
Sorry, MC, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, in our Supreme Court, our 9 judges are obviously communists. So, and
invalid.
Their outfits look like Santa outfits.
They do. They do look silly. It's very silly. It's like, oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
Can we not become a serious, like, can we not be a serious country, guys? Like, get some clothes on, for crying out loud. It's not Christmas. Like, come on. Okay, with that, we've got to say goodbye. Hang out for a second in the green room, everyone.